Hey folks, before we jump into this week's session, wanted to point out that I do this weekly, talk about Microsoft Cloud news and updates, everything regarding Azure, Office 365, Microsoft 365, Teams, and more. So if you like what you see, please subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and share on your favorite social media platform. Without further ado, let's jump into this week's session. Hey folks, welcome to this edition of the Microsoft Cloud News Update, researching the cloud blogs so you don't have to. This week we have a couple of exciting updates to share with you. That includes Azure Storage Day, some weather services that are now available for Azure Maps, using GPS for conditional access in Azure Active Directory, some Teams updates, video analytics, and more. So let's jump right into it. All the updates I'll be covering this week, the links for these updates can be found in the description in the video. So the first update is regarding this digital event for Azure Storage Day. And this is an opportunity to interact with the product group for Azure Storage. I believe it's about a 3-hour event that will cover some of the background information around Azure Storage and networking, data lakes, connections with Azure Files and Azure NetApp, Azure Storage Block Storage, some migration best practices, and also an opportunity to engage with the storage community and ask questions. So this event is on Thursday, April 29th. The link for the registration is below. Our second update is regarding Azure Maps and the weather services that are now available with Azure Maps. So this gives you the ability to connect an API into AccuWeather and provide weather information within your Azure application. And this could be neat for folks who want to create an application, maybe for service workers or folks who are outside and work outdoors. And within your line of business app, you want to provide some context of weather situations, forecast, etc. So a really neat way to enhance your line of business app. Our next 3 updates are regarding some roadmap updates for Microsoft 365. And the first one here is regarding Azure Active Directory. This is a new feature that is currently in development and also in public preview. And it's the ability to connect GPS coordinates to location-based access. So if you're using some of the conditional access capabilities within Azure Active Directory, you can now in preview attach that to GPS coordinates for that particular person's device. So currently in development and in preview, slated for release next month. Our next roadmap update is regarding Microsoft Teams and the ability to do organizational-wide background. This is now in preview, so if you belong to an organization and you want to standardize on a particular background image for all of your users, that's something that will be supported and provided. So currently it's in preview with release for later this month. And our last roadmap update is regarding custom backgrounds now being available for mobile devices. So this is something that is available currently on iOS, coming soon to the Android platform as well. But right now it's available on iOS and the ability to do a custom background for Microsoft Teams on your iOS device. Global AI Student Conference coming online for April 24th. And this is an opportunity for students to engage with other students who are working on AI-based projects, what AI means to the general community, and using AI for good through a project-based scenario. So this also includes some coding applications and general discussion around AI application and some of the skill sets that are needed to be proficient in artificial intelligence. Again, this is driven by students for students, and the link for registration is below. extracting business insights using live video analytics, and the Intel NUC. So if you're familiar with Intel NUC devices, these are really small PCs which allow you to connect USB devices such as keyboards, mice, cameras, etc. This particular tutorial goes through how to use Intel NUCs as Azure IoT edge devices and connecting cameras to do live video analytics. So Intel NUCs are really low cost, quote unquote, PCs, if you will. They can be connected to the Azure IoT platform and leveraged to collect various analysis, sensor information, etc. So I thought this was particularly interesting in capturing webcam and video analysis. And it goes through the whole gamut of acquiring the NUC, configuring the NUC, connecting it to Azure IoT and the particular webcam device. And further down below, some of the actual analytics that the particular camera was capturing in real time. So here is a traffic analysis where the webcam and the NUC were capturing data in real time and including timestamp of the media, the tag of the different objects that were detected, such as vehicle, person, bike, some of the attributes, whether or not the vehicle was a van, a car, a truck, the color of the vehicle, etc. So if you're into Azure IoT, want to get a little bit more detailed information on how to leverage IoT, I thought this was a really good tutorial on getting started. Analyzing COVID medical papers with Azure and text analytics. So this is another tutorial on how to use some of the cognitive services and text analytics capabilities within the Azure platform. And this particular case study was using COVID scientific papers and collecting information from these scientific papers based on keywords, attributes, etc., combining that data into a language model and doing extraction and different analysis on the information. So some of the examples here were around vaccine analysis, treatments, etc., what has been effective, what hasn't been effective, and providing just the general information on all the scientific papers that were included in this particular study. So if you're into some analytics and want to learn more about the cognitive services and the text analytics that can be leveraged in the Azure platform, this is a really good tutorial on getting started. And last but not least, wanted to make a plug for Higher Education Reimagined. This is coming April 22nd and sponsored by the education team within Microsoft. So this will be a great way for you educators, if you are using any part of the Microsoft platform for teaching, for learning, or administration, to get connected with the education group within Microsoft and learning more about roadmaps and what we're doing from a product perspective, and also getting some additional insights on where Microsoft is going with some of our education-based solutions. Of particular interest is the Microsoft Career Coach and some of the demonstrations of what Career Coach is doing and the collaboration between Microsoft, Microsoft Teams, LinkedIn Learning, and some of the other LinkedIn properties of providing career coaching for students. So definitely check out the blog post for more info and the link for registration. That concludes this edition of the Microsoft Cloud News Update. Thank you for participating. If you found this useful, please like, share, and subscribe. If you have any feedback for me, I could be found on LinkedIn or Twitter, or send me an email. Feel free to share your comments in the comment section below, and appreciate your time this week. Again, if you have any comments or questions, please share that. I wish you well, and we will catch you next time. Take care.